No, look. It means go up to the right, bear right, over the bridge, and hook up with 307.
Make a right
Maybe it's
turn.
a shortcut, Dwight. It said go to the right.
It can't mean that. There's a lake there.
I think it knows where it is going.
This is
the
lake.
machine
This
knows.
is the lake.
Stop yelling at me.
No, it's
Stop
up
yelling.
there. There's no lake.
Thank you for being here, subscribed or not. And if you haven't joined the 49% elite humans, consider hitting that button if you enjoy the videos, as that is quite literally what just happened between Astros pitcher Framber Valdez and his catcher while playing the Yankees. And it was followed by friendly fire. Valdez just straight up opening up on his own teammate, Order 66 style. Like freaking Emperor Palpatine was in his earpiece telling him his teammate was a traitor. Now, there is some foreplay we gotta start with on Valdez I think is necessary to set up the climax of this story. You know, just some appetizers to let you know about today's main antagonist, who seems like a very salty and petty person. And don't get it wrong, that's of course normal. That's classic human behavior. We've all been there. But when you're a big league pitcher, especially someone who's supposed to be an ace of a pitching staff, you just can't be like that. You can't be someone who's easily able to get rattled. Someone who it's not very hard for people to get under your skin. But Framber Valdez, he is. A couple years ago in a game against the Mariners, he gives up a home run to Dylan Moore. Takes a sinker the other way, just over the wall. It's a bad outing for Framber. 6 runs on the board for Seattle. He's pissed, taking out his anger on Jose Caballero by throwing a first pitch fastball right at his legs. Now, the only thing I'll give credit to Framber here, if you're going to throw at someone, you don't go for the head, and he didn't. But that's still the bitch move of all bitch moves. I mean, this is clearly on purpose. Valdez's body language gives it away. He's a pitcher with pretty good command. He's not missing that badly on a first pitch fastball. The context of it coming right after he just gave up a home run in a really bad outing, it's just like, what is that? That is trash behavior. In a game against the Red Sox this year at Fenway Park, first 3.5 innings of this game were awesome. Carlos Correa hits his first home run back as an Astro. Valdez throwing 3 shutout innings. Things are going great. Well, then it all unraveled. First, a double by Roman Anthony. Then he walks Romy Gonzalez. He can't get the Romans out. Then Trevor Story says, I got a lullaby for you, bitch. Base hit. Red Sox tie the game. Then hot girl Cedar Rafaela hammers an 0-2 curveball on the left. The line keeps moving. It's 2-1. Next pitch, Valdez balks. Now, the Red Sox have at this point almost made it a skill of theirs to force balks on opposing pitchers. It's been happening a lot lately, it feels like, with this team. So Valdez, I guess he was too worried about the base runners. He balks on a run. 2 pitches later, he throws it to the backstop. Rafaela gets to third. 2 pitches after that, a little trickler infield hit, no play. Rafaela stays at third, but gets home after Valdez F's up this bunt right back at him. It gets by him. Everyone is safe. Another run scores. Fenway is loving it. Valdez is rattled. This is what I'm talking about. He mentally was gone at this point. I mean, when he's at that point, it gets ugly. 2 pitches later, another wild pitch to get both runners in scoring position. They both end up scoring on sacrifice hits. I'm surprised he didn't hit anyone during all this. Oh wait, he ended up doing that. It was just a little later. He'd smoke Cedar with a fastball. It didn't seem intentional, but Alex Cora looked like he was pissed at Framber, like he knows Framber's history. Okay, so I've given an example of Framber Valdez throwing at another team simply because he was mad they were hitting off him, and then an example of how rattled he got and how much of a disaster things become when you mentally get to him. Well, now an example of why Valdez is a scumbag of a teammate. A couple, actually. So about a month ago, Astros playing the Nationals, and Framber actually pitched very well. He only gave up 1 run, but that 1 run meant a lot. In the game, only 3 runs total were scored combined. They lost the game 2-1. But there were 2 outs in the 6th inning. Astros were up at this point 1-0. Nobody was on base until Valdez walked Josh Bell. Okay, that's just 1 base runner. Lock in, get out of it. And according to Valdez, he should have gotten out of it without giving up a run, even though he did. Why? Well, if his teammates and coaches actually used common sense, yeah, that was his way of putting it. Now, here's the thing. He actually was kind of right. When Nathaniel Lowe hit a ball through the right side for a base hit, ironically, who's on the Red Sox now, the Astros right fielder, Taylor Trammell, was practically playing center field. Like, he was basically just at the bullpen. Maybe he thought he was a reliever or something. And because he was so far off of actual right field, Josh Bell was able to come all the way around from first to score on the grounder in a right field. Valdez was pissed. And after the game, Valdez said this through an interpreter: I saw the right fielder playing center field, and you know, we have a center fielder for that. I feel like the right fielder should have been playing right field. I was uncomfortable with that. I'm uncomfortable with the fact that you don't seem to know your own right fielder's name, but I digress. When asked if he addressed the positioning with the coaching staff, Valdez said, I don't have to ask the coaches about that. I feel like baseball is a game of common sense. With me as a lefty pitcher, they don't hit a lot of fly balls against me. Okay, yes, Framber has a point. The positioning was off, and Trammell should have been more in right field. But I also think it's crappy to not keep that in-house and to disrespect your coaches and right fielder the way you did. Maybe just referring to Trammell as the right fielder was better than calling him out by name, now that I think of it. So in the end, you could look at this and be like, okay, yeah, maybe not the best to air it out for everyone to hear, but he has a point and it's not the end of the world, whatever, you move on. Well, then here's the latest incident that I don't really see much moving on from. So the Yankees are now currently in Houston taking on the Astros, and this is a big series for both teams. Both teams were in the thick of their own respective division races. Obviously, these two teams have a history, but it's more about just the main mission right now, which is to at least make the playoffs, if not win the divisions that they're in. Framber's on the mound. He didn't have a good August, and the calendar striking September changed nothing. He struggled. Now, he did strike out 8 hitters. That's good. He also gave up 6 runs. That's not good. First 2 came off the bat of Jazz Chisholm. Bro has been cooking lately. He's had a very good season. Shout out Jazz. Credit to him. He was struggling earlier on, but he's been on a roll for a while now. He pops this 94-mile-an-hour sinker off Valdez, 2-0 Yankees. You just know Valdez wanted to throw at Jazz here as he was doing his Euro step at home plate. Okay, so that was in the second. Skip to the 5th. He strikes out Austin Wells on 3 pitches to start the inning. Okay, great. Well, then he walks Paul Goldschmidt, then gets his first pitch slider taken in a right field for a base hit by Cody Bellinger. Thankfully, there was a right fielder playing right field. Okay, we good, everyone? Good. I mean, thank God. They were going to need that right fielder again very soon. Aaron Judge would demolish a sinker into right for another base hit. So it's bases loaded, 1 out. Giancarlo Stanton up to the plate. Yankees make it a big threat here. Astros coach comes out of the closet. Everyone starts cheering for his bravery. No, he just comes out of the dugout to talk with Framber on how to pitch to Stanton here. The whole infield gathers around. We're getting word from Dairy Queen. A lot going on right here. But the bottom line is the main message they're telling Valdez, which is you got to strike Stanton out here. You know, that would be bad if like he does something good. Framber's like, do I get free Dairy Queen? If I do, they're like, yes. He's like, bet, say less. He gets Stanton down looking, striking him out for the second time in this game. 1 more out and you're out of this without any bloodshed. Well, then comes the situation you saw at the start of this video. After a first pitch curveball into Trent Grisham for ball 1, watch what happens next. So Framber shakes off the pitch the Astros catcher, Cesar Salazar, is calling. He wants to throw something else, but Salazar's like, all right, step off. We're clearly not on the same page. Let's figure this out. Step off. No. Framber's like, no, I'm just going to do what I want. Salazar's like, shit. Framber goes with what he wants to throw, a 96-mile-an-hour sinker, and Grisham hammers it the other way, up and out for a grand slam. 6-0 Yankees. Framber is mad, obviously, unless his name is Emmanuel Clase. He's not going to be happy in a moment like this. And a bad situation turns a whole lot worse here in a moment. Grisham's all fired up. Yankees are celebrating. Judge is happy. Jazz loves it. Framber's like, I hate life. Anthony Volpe now up. He throws a first pitch up and away for ball 1, and he even looked lazy throwing this pitch. Maybe that's just me, but like his body language to me looked like he was almost just tossing at a practice pitch. He gets the ball back, looks down all defeated, and here's where it gets ugly. Framber throws his next pitch, a 93-mile-an-hour sinker, and it smokes Salazar in the chest. Now, what this usually is called a cross-up. For those who don't know, a cross-up is when the pitcher and catcher have a miscommunication, and the catcher gets a pitch he wasn't expecting. I shouldn't find this amusing, but it is kind of funny to watch happen, just because it's so unexpected. Like, you don't think a catcher is going to all of a sudden look scared of the ball. But here's the thing. With PitchCom, which is the new modern electronic walkie-talkie way of communicating between a pitcher and his catcher, rather than what they've always done, which is the catcher painting his nails like he's about to walk into the Pink Pony Club and making signs with those fingers. It's a way to make opposing teams stealing signs a little bit harder, because unless one of the teams has Superman, they're not going to hear what the pitcher's earpiece has to say of what pitch to throw. The reason I'm explaining this is because there's really no reason for Valdez and Salazar to not be on the same page here because of PitchCom. So in other words, Valdez purposefully threw a faster pitch that Salazar was not expecting to smoke him in the chest because he's basically blaming him for the grand slam that he just gave up.
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
Salazar gets up. He's obviously pissed. Like, he just did that. He just did what I think he did. Meanwhile, the funniest thing about this entire situation is that Anthony Volpe just took a fastball right down the middle of the plate. Okay, I have to admit I got that joke from Twitter. Seriously, though, it's funny that Anthony Volpe had the chance to save Valdez's ass from this controversy, but he's Anthony Volpe, so he didn't. In many ways, he's actually a hero for not swinging and being himself. Imagine Salazar chuck this ball back at Framber, and then they have a brawl in the middle of their own field. Anyway, Valdez ends up getting Volpe to ground out, inning over, outing over. His Astros career should be over. That is pretty wild that he did that. He, of course, denied that he did such a thing after the game. The Astros manager even brought both Valdez and Salazar into his office after the game. And the report is that Valdez apologized to Salazar, but said the cross-up was not on purpose. And there's actually footage of Valdez in this meeting when asked if he did it on purpose.
No, it was illegal. What that's that? I ain't heard nothing about that.
Yeah, I'd maybe believe you if you at least pretended like you had any sort of care in the world after smoking your teammate in the chest. I mean, he didn't even attempt to try it, just immediately turns around. What a scumbag. Seriously, that is awful. And then to lie about it after, well, at least he has Salazar in on the lie, backing him up. Watch what he had to say after the game.
No, they didn't get crossed up. Like I said, there was a good amount of Yankees fans, so it was pretty loud for the grand slam. Maybe my pitch gun wasn't in the right spot, so I pressed the wrong button, you know. So
what is he being held at gunpoint? I'm convinced this is what happened the moment the cameras turned off. Oh yeah, just those Yankee fans. There were so many of them. Could hardly hear if the umpire was calling each pitch a strike or not. Fromber must have not heard the pitch come or something. I don't know. Them New Yorkers always swarming down south in droves. It never ends. Blaming this potentially on Yankees fans being so loud and rowdy, even though the game was in Houston, in order to help deny that your own pitcher purposefully put you in harm's way is very embarrassing. I honestly think what could be happening, and this is just a theory, but that the Astros are handling this in-house. Fromber maybe even admitted what he did, and the team just doesn't want things to be public, so they're having both guys publicly deny it. Either way, the truth looks pretty clear as to what happened, no matter how much they do deny it. Yeah, not that I felt the Astros were going to re-sign Fromber Valdez anyway in free agency. I mean, just simply based off their track record of not really ever doing that with their players, but just in general now, forget just the Astros. If I was running a team, this is definitely something I would factor in if I'm looking at adding a free agent pitcher, and I get to Fromber Valdez's name on the list. Let's take a look at his stuff. Okay, we got a sinker, changeup, nasty curveball, and might try to smoke your catcher in the chest if he's upset. Yeah, not what you want. Welcome to How to Kill Your Stock 101. Let me know your thoughts, and thank you for watching. Love you. Bye.